Let me be unequivocal about it. Let me make sure that you are hearing me absolutely clearly. We must challenge Section 35. We absolutely have to. I'll tell you why. Look, in this room, there's going to be a range of views about GRR. I accept that. On this panel, there's a range of views about GRR. I respect that. But this is about the principle of our democracy. If we cave in, if we roll over to a Westminster power grab, they will come after legislation after legislation after legislation. They're already threatening to do it time and time and time again. So if we cave in, but what kind of message would that send? What kind of message does that send to the Scottish people that we're not willing to stand up for devolution, let alone what would happen in an independent Scotland? And I know, got to take legal advice in any court case, we'll of course have to do that. But the starting principle, I would say, for any nationalist, the starting principle must be to defend Scotland's Parliament and defend Scotland's democracy. From me, I'm unapologetic, unequivocal. We must stand up to Westminster's power grab.
Kate.
I mean, we know that the UK government are on a mission. They are on a mission to dismantle the devolution settlement. They are on a mission with their muscular unionism to ensure that they hinder as much as possible the work that we are doing. And where I would agree with Humza is that where legislation has been passed by the Scottish Parliament, that legislation should continue. We have seen this week alone the UK government also determining to cause problems with the deposit return scheme, and there's been a whole host of other issues. I think we need to act like we are, in many cases, an independent government, an independent country already. It's been well documented that there are differing views on the Gender Recognition Reform Bill. My views are probably well known, so I'm not going to go into them. And there are differing views on the panel. But a grown-up independent country sorts out its problems itself. It doesn't have to have recourse to another government, and nor does it need to ask permission from another government. It sorts those issues out themselves. And I think we can sort out the Gender Recognition Reform Act ourselves. I think we can track a course that recognises that it has become a very challenging, toxic debate and find a way forward that ensures that we do not stigmatise the trans community further and also give that security to women and girls when it comes to safe places. We can do that ourselves because one day we're going to be independent. And when we're independent, we're going to have to sort these things out ourselves. So yes, I would seek legal advice, but I'd far rather sort out the legislation ourselves without having to go to court or without having to seek Westminster's permission around what we do next.
Thank you. So I've got a bit of a different view on this. I think many of you will know that I am, I was the first and the only SNP minister to ever resign on a point of policy. I think that we have really lost the trust of the country on the way that this was handled. Not the issue specifically, but the way I think that the issue was seen to be handled, that a range of views, were not being listened to. And so, no, I wouldn't challenge the Section 35, not because I think that it's okay for the UK to challenge our legislation, but for the simple reason that we're going to lose that court case. And we are going to be throwing probably hundreds of thousands of pounds of public money into something that the public, they don't support. So I think it's been quite a divisive issue in the Parliament as well. And I think that bringing it back to the Parliament and potentially opening it up again, which is another option, wouldn't be a good idea. So I think we need to draw a line on it in terms of the parliamentary sense. And the idea that I've had, which I think would possibly work in this situation, is if there's an appetite for re-looking at this issue, that I think this is the perfect thing for a citizens' assembly. Take it out of the Parliament, give it to the people, let them have a look at it and decide what's the appropriate way forward for it. So if I'm going to pick a fight with the UK government, I'm going to do it on something where the public are behind me.